What is up? What is happening? Hope everybody's doing well. So, we're going to talk about the Thanos fight today. Overall, such a fantastic fight. I loved it. I didn't really have that much feedback for things that I didn't like. I think overall, Kabam knocked it out of the park. It was super fun. You got to study, you got to read, you got to come in with the right chants, you got to prepare, you got to you gotta be ready. But it is fantastic. So I did this right off the bat. I was kind of going. I was like basically hand in hand with Seaton as he was live streaming it. So I didn't really have any experience. I didn't have any tutorials, none of that. So please give me a little bit of credit because I get rocked a lot. Like I get fucking rocked. So just please take that with a grain of salt. Yeah, do with it what you will, but cut me some slack. So we're just going in with Ghost Rider just to kind of get a feel for his animations and everything. We've fought Thanos a bunch of different times. He's very popular in Road to the Labyrinth, so I'm pretty used to his size and his movements. So we're just going to go in with Gwenpool. Her Sig ability was probably my MVP for this whole thing. Her and Iceman, being able to survive an L3 from Thanos in this fight is fantastic because he will get to those L3s. And there is a way to get around it, but it's hard. Not every time. But we'll talk about that later on. So right now, his first stage is called what is it? It's like some sort of aura, essentially, that you can just parry. If you parry it, it's removed. I didn't understand that right away. So what happens is if you attack into his Genesis aura and you're damaged by it, he siphons the health off that you lose, and he regens. So don't be hitting him while he has the Genesis aura. Man, the bleeds are fantastic for this because he is cycling through a lot of specials. And so having a damage over time really helps. And I'm super happy that Kabam did not make him bleed immune. Okay, let's get back to that. Let's talk about these inverted controls. They're super fun. I was not expecting Kabam to do this. I never would have thought about it ever. And it is such a fun mechanic. So basically, after he uses his L2, when he's in his L2 phase, he inverts the controls for X seconds. It's not very long. And what's really nice is while your controls are inverted, his AI is not very aggressive. So I think they designed the AI to let you make the mistakes, not for him to drive you to make mistakes, which I think is fantastic. Okay, so another thing about Thanos, he is an intercepting god. If he has a special, he'll intercept you. So, I get intercepted 4 or 5 times throughout this whole thing. So, be careful. Be careful with, if he has a special, just, let him use it. Don't charge at him, because he will use it for sure. He is just an intercepting god. I can't, say this enough. Now, he does have a villain tag, so Blade is definitely a viable option for this. You can see Seaton's video he totally wrecks both Thanoses with his Blade, so that's definitely possible. So if you have a 565 Blade or a 455 Blade, then you got a leg up on this one. How could you not? I try to not use Blade at all. I think this is the only time I use him, just because I want to do something different. Not because I have anything against Blade play, but I just wanted to do something different here. So the controls are back, but I'm just getting fucking messed up. Blade just gets totally manhandled by Thanos, and that's that. So Spidey for me is a close second for MVP. His auto evade just comes in handy. He's got bursty damage. Bursty damage is really helpful for these fights. Because you essentially have 3 different fights, right? He's got about 240k health, and he's divided up into 3 stages, about 80k per stage. Like average, not exactly. I'm just kind of making it an equal cut in the pie, so to speak. So so like having bursty damage really helps, really makes a difference. So now let me tell you, evading the L2 with those reversed controls is so fun. Okay, so now this is probably the hardest for both. This Thanos and the other Thanos. When he gets to his stage 3, he gets this unstoppable, which is only removed by an intercept. If you do remove it by an intercept, you basically put safeguard on yourself and you can survive his L3. Now the problem, I did intercept that off, but then he did his L2 phase and put the inverted controls, which nullified, or which made my intercept irrelevant, and I did not play safeguard on myself for the third L3, and I died. So you have to have like the intercept removal of the unstoppable be followed by the L3. You can't have like the intercept and then have him do an L2 and then an L3. It won't work. So you need to do the intercept and then have that L3 follow it. And in that case, you will have safeguard placed on you and you will survive his L3. So that's how you play around his L3. You have to intercept his unstoppable and then you can survive. So that's that. Now, yeah, so it's called Unstoppable War. And let me tell you, it is not easy. Uh-oh, things are glitching out a little bit. I need to stop that. Okay. Anyway, so what are we doing here? Okay, so I think I'm going to survive this because I did intercept his unstoppable. I sure did. But man, he is a tough AI to intercept. He like doesn't yo-yo very often. And while he's unstoppable, you can't backdraft, right? Because you can't hit him while he's blocking. So you just gotta go for that. You gotta find those places to intercept, and it can be hard when his AI isn't yo-yoing, isn't kind of evading back and coming back in. He just kind of evades back and then he'll chill back there. So it's definitely hard to get a rhythm on this AI. It is difficult, I'll tell you what. So now we're back to using Gwenpool because I want to survive those L3s if I do not manage to get that unstoppable off. But I just got lucky there. I should have been dead. I really, really like that Kabam did not put a damage over time from his specials, nor did they put a stun from his specials, because that made it so champions like Iceman and Gwenpool with abilities to survive L3s, Luke Cage to survive L3s, it made it so you can keep fighting. You're not like going to survive that L3 and then just be stunned and wrecked. So man, they really just like, they thought of a lot of different angles for this fight and they designed it just so well. Okay, so this fight's been going okay, and really this is where things start to fall apart. Sometimes I just hit a bump in the road and all of a sudden I just don't know how to play. So I'm trying to get the intercept, which I did manage to get off there, which was pretty cool. I get the get that heavy, baited out. He's bleeding. I know I'm going to survive this. Even if Gwenpool did not have her SIG ability, I intercepted that unstoppable, which put safeguard on me, and I survived. Okay. I think I'm going to throw an L2 just to gain space. Not a bad idea, actually, if you're stuck in the corner. But it doesn't matter because I get totally fucking wrecked. Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? I'm kind of playing like shit right now. And it happens. I'm just burning through units. It happens. What are you going to do? Okay, so he's down to like, what, 5,000 health? But man, that unstoppable, it's like you just can't just finish him off real quick. I do like the cut animations, because if they didn't have the cut animations, those transitions between phases would be too hard to deal with. So the cut animations definitely give you some time to like change your mindset because you're essentially going into a different fight. So definitely another hats off to Kabam for designing it that way. That was fantastic. Okay, cool. So now we're gonna get into the second fight with Thanos. Okay, guys. So we're in the second one here. The second one is very, very difficult. He's more difficult than the first one by far. Because his L2 phase, in my opinion, is very, very difficult. And that probably brings me to my only issue with the both fights. The L2 is like a mirage, or it's like an illusion, I guess you could say, because like half of the projectiles that are thrown at you aren't real, and it's just a nightmare to fucking evade. So other things that happen with the L2, you degenerate for 80% over 5 seconds, and then you regen it. If you have recovery, you actually regen an additional 7%, which is awesome. So here we go. We're starting off here, and we're just gonna kind of see what we can do here. We push him to his first phase. Basically, when he has that evolution armor, just don't hit him. It's a case where they designed it in a way where like if you can't hit him while he has that up, right as it ends, you have a chance to get a 5-hit combo in before he kind of builds to his L1 again, or any said level. So they made it so you can't just go in and murk half his health right away. So it's an interesting mechanic, which I actually like. And as you can see there, I still haven't learned my lesson, and I get intercepted by his special. Oh, Jesus. But luckily, Gwenpool survives it. Man, that plot armor is really doing big things for me today. And those bleeds, really doing big things for me today. If you had Gwenpool, if I had suicides on with her, this fight would be a lot faster, because those bleeds would be ticking for like 300. Oh man, it would be fantastic. Okay. So this was another reason why Gwenpool is so fantastic. That L3, once you get that L3 on, that armor break, you are just hammering into him. I'll say it again, I'm so glad they did not make him bleed immune, or they did not make the node bleed immune, because that would have really kind of bummed me out. It would have really taken away a lot of champions. So this is fantastic. I'm down to 5%, and any kind of chip damage is gonna put me very close to death, so I'm just trying to intercept here. Trying to keep that armor break going. The L1 is very easy to evade. I was a little worried about the L1 when I first saw Seaton go in there and do it, but it's actually pretty instinctual to evade. So, I mean, I've gotten a pretty sizable chunk of his health down, and I think this is like my first go. So I'm feeling pretty confident. But that confidence is definitely misplaced. So I'm like degenning, and I'm flustered, and I don't know what's happening, and I forget what I'm doing. But you don't need to worry. When that degen hits, you're not going to die. Just don't get hit while you have it on. Like, essentially, I think the best thing to know about this fight is, like, if you forget what's happening, if you have a negative buff on you, or he has some buff on him, just don't hit him, and you'll most likely be okay. So what happens here when you have, when you're degenning, he also has this buff, so don't hit him then. And then once the degen runs out, he's going to have like a little green evade buff. You'll see it pop up, 3, 2, 1 now. Don't hit him while he has that either, because he can auto block you and parry you. So you got to wait. Again, they kind of made it so you have like a little window to get 5 hits in before he's ready to throw another L2. Now you can see that actually the ones you were supposed to evade, Like they all kind of look like comets, right? But the ones that you're supposed to evade have like a rainbow tail. So in hindsight, I understand which ones to evade, and it's not very hard. But you know, when you first start, you're just like hit with this barrage of fucking crazy comets, and it's pretty crazy. As you can see there, I did hit into him while he had the green thing, and he auto-blocked me and stunned me, but he didn't punish me, so that was okay. Now we're trying to evade these, and we're doing okay. I was kind of playing the probability game where like I was kind of, you know, banking on Starkey's auto evade, and then my ability just to mash evade, and I would come out to a decent probability of not getting hit, which works right now, but you'll see later that I pay the price for such ignorant mashing. But he catches me on that intercept there, and then I thought I had space, but I guess that, you know, that heavy has some range on it, and it's like a weird timing. So you got to be careful with that. Okay, so we've made it super far, right? With just like one revive, but things start to fall apart. That is for sure. I basically realized that if I get hit, I'm basically dead. So there's no real point in putting on potions right now. Just a 40% revive is fine. So, man, this gets ugly. I'll just tell you right now, this gets ugly, and I hope you enjoy my pain here because I start to get frustrated. I think right here it's like, oh, no auto evade, fucking dead. And I'm like, sick. Thanks, Spidey. My ignorant mashing finally is exposed. So I'm like, all right, take a breather, go pick up some items. Let's relax. We can do this. There's no need to stress out. All right, so let's get into this fight again. Where's my head at right now? I'm at that point when you're playing a game and you're frustrated, but you're trying to hold it together because you know if you let this anger get the best of you, then you're just gonna really start to like suck it up. So I'm like really trying to balance my mood here, but I can feel myself starting to get frustrated, starting to get a little tilty. When you're tilty, you're definitely not gonna play like even close to your abilities. So we're just gonna try to ride the storm out here. This is another, basically like, okay, so with Thanos, these bites, there actually isn't very much RNG. It's like, it's a highly skill-based situation. But as you can see, there are a few moments where I'm going to get kind of unlucky with RNG. And it's going to happen soon. He's going to like throw his L2, which I evade, but then boop, he like threw his L1, and I was like, hey man, that wasn't cool, bro. That wasn't cool at all. So, you know, got a little unlucky there. Definitely got unlucky. But I should have been aware that he has L1, and I could have evaded it. So that wasn't like an impossible situation. But, you know, it's also annoying when the AI streams specials on like back to back. But, you know, whatever. It happens. So now we haven't taken any health off in like the last 5 minutes, which is always highly demoralizing. So, you know, we're moving, we're doing things. So now he's stun immune, but that's fine. I should have punished there, but I'm flustered and I'm like, I'm stupid as fuck. At least that's how I felt about myself. I'm stuck in the corner and he's just mashing me. He hits me with a heavy. I thought I evaded that one, but that was weird. That was a weird animation because we didn't actually see the lightning bolt. I don't know. I'm calling bullshit on that one, but it doesn't matter because then he just like revenge fucks me with another fucking L2. Jesus Christ. Okay, so I'm trying to get through this L2 phase because I don't know how to evade his L2. I'm still not wise to those rainbow tails on the comet. I still just kind of mash evading. That's what you get for doing it first, I guess, and not being smart, which is a deadly combination, I guess, for this game. But anyway, so I'm like, man, if I could just get him to his third stage, and no, you will not. You will die again because you're a bitch. God, Thanos is really just taking me to church here. So let's see if, let's just see if we can manage something, because at this point, I am like, when I started the fight, my confidence was up here, and now it's just down here. And I'm just like, I'm kind of speechless, and I'm like, why is this happening to me? So I'm like, just come on, pull it together. Can we just do a little bit of damage? Can we just do something, please? Please? Bait out a heavy? Thank you. Okay, so now, okay, look, we actually hit him. It's not just a total murking. But that doesn't matter because we get nicked again. But hey, we didn't die. That's cool. That's cool. Can we do something? Can we bait? Yes, yes. We got a medium. Oh, but he does this. But now we've got a new thing. So we're through that L2, and I'm like, yes, I hated that L2 phase. So with this one, he has this thing called Death Touch, which I didn't quite understand fully. I do manage to get the intercept there, which places safeguard on me. So very important for once he hits that L3 to get those intercepts. What's nice about the second Thanos is he does not have an unstoppable buff, so you can do some backdrafts. So that's very helpful. Now, he does end up hitting me with another one, and I'm dead. Okay, so, but he's down to like the last bit, and I feel confident. I'm like, you got this, dude. You got this. And I'm like, just go in there with Gwenpool, and you can take this home. You can take this home. You got this. Now, I still don't fully understand Death Touch. At this moment during the fight, I hadn't read it enough, I guess. So, we're going to see my stupidity, and I hope that you can learn from my stupidity, because this is not a pretty sight. No, it is not a pretty sight. So I think I'm just going to, immediately get Dome Rocked here. So he goes into his third phase, and boom. Death Touch, you're dead. I guess I didn't quite understand that I couldn't parry. So there's that. So I'm like, all right, go in and read his abilities. Figure this shit out, all right? Yeah. So let's see. Death Touch is basically like, if he touches, you die. It's very self-explanatory. So let's get into this fight. All right, guys. So we are back in it here. So I know about Death Touch now. And I guess I tried to evade that time, but it didn't register. So, that licks balls. But I know I can do this. I'm like, come on, Gwenny, carry me home. Gwen, you got this. You're bae. You're about to handle this. You're the queen bee, the queen beezy, and you're gonna take this down for us. So I'm just kind of taking a breather here. I know I can do this, though. I know I can survive. I know I can succeed. I can do it. Let's do it. Come on, Gwen. Take me home, baby. Take me home. So overall, this Thanos fight has been fantastic. There are definitely times where I was frustrated, but that's because I wasn't playing well, not because there was bullshit or any BS. I think this is fantastic. You got to be up on your game, though. You got to prepare, and you got to be good at intercepting. That's definitely, you can't rely on parry for this at all. So I finally get him. He's bleeding. He's bleeding. That's right. This is one of the, Gwenpool for the win. Gonna survive this L3, which is fantastic. So he's got death touch, but you can intercept his death touch. That's like basically the only way you can do damage to him while he's got it. 3, 2, 1. Bam! You're down! Yeah! And the crowd goes wild! Woo! 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 Alright guys, now I'm going to show you a super cool thing that I did. Well, I think it's super cool. It's a solo on the first one with Gwenpool. Let's check it out. Okay, so this took me a few tries to get this solo. Now, the reason why I wasn't trying to solo the second one is just because I'm drained of resources, and in order to get to the second one, I got to do the first one, and that takes a few tries, and then, I don't want to be using resources on the second one because it's definitely going to take a few tries to solo it. And I'm trying to do it with Gwenpool. I know Blade is like, Seaton did it with Blade, so that's done. That's been done. That's a different route to take, which is totally legit. It's fine. But I'm going to go in with Gwenpool here. And I was like, I really want to do this. And I've got the fight down. Like, I know what's going on here. So Genesis Aura, which I can get rid of by parrying. It's on a timer. You see that timer? Which is actually like timed with your 5-hit combo. Once your 5-hit combo is up, it recharges, but you're ready for the evade. Okay? So I'm totally solid on evading his L1, and we're just kind of going through the motions here, kind of parrying that aura off. One of the main reasons why Gwenpool is fantastic for this fight, even if you only have a rank 4 or maybe you only have a 4-star, once you throw this L3, and you get that armor break up, this bursty damage is really helpful for the fight. Okay, so now we have inverted controls, which is super fun. So just being really patient and making sure that I'm not doing anything crazy, essentially just holding block, just being really careful. Inverted controls again, boom, boom, such a satisfying L2 to evade. God, I love it. So I'm not trying to do anything fancy with the inverted controls. I'm just waiting for them to switch back, and then I'm just being very patient. Taking a little block damage is fine. I intercept his heavy attack there, which I actually was trying to do. I was pretty proud of that moment. Okay, so now he's unstoppable, and I'm like, all right, if this is the place where you can make mistakes, but I get this just disgusting intercept, and I throw my L3. He's about to get his L3, but because of Gwenpool's SIG ability, I'm able to overcome this obstacle. Here we go. I'm taking a little bit of block damage. So he gets his L3, but man, no worries. Gwenpool is going to survive this. Even if the intercept wasn't within the same, close enough area. Oh, I get the intercept, and he's bleeding. He's bleeding. Come on, baby. Intercept. Yeah. He's down solo. Good. Oh, the crowd goes wild. So yeah, guys. So that was the fight. I managed to get the solo on the first one, which made me super happy. It is possible. You just got to be up on your game. You got to know the fight well. You got to study, man. You got to read. You can't just go in here blind. I'll be interested to see if people get some solos on the second one with some different kinds of champions. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me get my ass kicked. I hope you enjoyed watching me get revenge, and I'll check you later. Peace.